Howdy, we're live.
Okay. I'll just find it. So, okay, yeah, Dominic, there's a button for share now, so.
Okay, perfect. Just give me 1 second here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. There it is.
Second here.
Oh, let me try that. Oh.
Hey, Troy. Hey, John. John, I'm sorry. Frank and I got caught in traffic on the way to your house. I guess we had to turn around. We're not coming to Florida.
Yeah, I'm not gonna, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
we should
my
have
God.
did this 2 minutes ago.
Hey, Scooby. How are you? Hey, Rich. Hey,
Oh,
Kate.
everybody-
Adam. Whoa, got good 25 people so far. Guys, how are you? Welcome to tonight's virtual Cantina. We are going to be watching Mandalorian Chapter 3 along with our good friend, Mr. Dominic Pace, Gecko himself. Dom, how are you?
I'm doing great. Happy to be here with my son Bennett. He's going to be my little traveling partner there for the Big World Gecko Tour there. So happy to be here. Thanks for having us.
It's our pleasure, and love your T-shirt.
Thank you so much. Yeah, being in this episode wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for Deborah Chow. We had sort of the bounty hunter chorus lineup after the Cantina scene in parts of episode 3 as well as episode 1, and I owe Deborah a lot to be able to fulfill this dream of. It's not only special to be part of Star Wars, but also to be part of the action. I think is really every Star Wars fan's dream. So owe her a lot. So I wear her name on my chest with a lot of pride.
Excellent, excellent. So, ladies and gentlemen who are our guests tonight, if you have a question for Dominic, please feel free to put it into the chat throughout the evening. Also, before we watch Gallery later on after the episode, we have a very, very special giveaway tonight, courtesy of Mr. Pace, and anybody is welcome to answer the question that we're going to ask, even if you won prizes in the past. And there is going to be 10 winners tonight.
10
so
winners.
It's 10 winners. One question, first 10 people to answer it correctly will win the prize. I'm not going to say what the prize is until we get to the question, but it's going to be very exciting. And then we will have an announcement after Gallery about episode 4. But so yeah, celebration, huh? Yeah, I know. 2022. I can't believe it.
Yeah. I have a question for Dom if nobody in the group has one yet.
Yeah,
Sure.
Go ahead.
So you mentioned your tour that you're going to be doing.
Correct.
Can you give us a few? I saw the list today. It seems like it's grown since I last looked. So you could give us a rundown of some of the states you'll be hitting?
Absolutely. We start actually in our backyard on June 28th. There's going to be a small boutique little Comic Con, obviously due to the current circumstances, up at the Hyatt Regency. It's called the San Fernando Comic Con. We head off to Rogue Toys in Las Vegas for June 29th. On July 1st, we'll be at the Toy Box in Phoenix, Arizona. Then we head off to Lobo Comics in Albuquerque, New Mexico, down to Dragon's Lair for the 4th of July in San Antonio. Then we head down to Corpus Christi for, I want to say July 7th. Forgive me, the name escapes me. And then Houston for July 8th. And then we've got Tulsa, Oklahoma for the weekend of the 11th and 12th. We head up to Omaha. Then we've got Fort Dodge, Iowa, Sioux City, Iowa, Chicago, Dearborn Heights, Michigan. We've got Chattanooga, Cleveland, Tennessee, Miami, Florida. And then we're heading back to Belleville, Illinois, very close to St. Louis, Colorado Springs. Then we've got Denver. And then we're finishing off with Hanford, California. A lot of touring. It's going to be an amazing father-son experience. We're obviously going to be safe about this, but it's sort of my own. We've got the presidential campaign in November. This to me is sort of the bounty hunter campaign. We want to make sure that Disney hears us loud and clear. They've been making custom figures. I just got another alert today that somebody made another figure. So it's kind of the bounty hunter campaign, tried and true. I've been really honored to be a part of the production, and look forward to continuing on throughout the seasons there.
I can't believe that you remember every one of those dates. Like I was like, wow. I mean, I barely know my itinerary. Stuff I have to do at work, but
I knew the conventions were going to be canceled, and for me, by the way, 15% of all the sales are being given back to the small business, just in support of all businesses. All businesses are essential, especially these comic book store owners. So it actually worked out perfectly for me being a side character, where a lot of the conventions I would have been buried. In a way, it's kind of like a chance for a bounty hunter to shine here. So we're excited about it, but again, we're not going to be naive. We're certainly got all our hand sanitizer and taking pictures from a distance, and have a cash handler who's going to be handling all the cash transactions. So we're definitely taking precaution. But for me, and I'm sure you guys have kids or relatives as well, it's really not the grown-ups where this hurts so much. It's for my 11-year-old where he missed out on playing with his friends and Little League. So I'm going to try to make it up to him with being the best tour guide possible. We're going to Dyersville, Iowa. We're going to throw a ball on the Field of Dreams field together, father and son. Going to hit Tupelo, Mississippi, and have a peanut butter banana sandwich in honor of Elvis. So a lot of fun things to catch up on, but more importantly, just thinking about the kids right now and just kind of losing out on their childhood. Hopefully we can get out of this soon and safe.
That's awesome.
That's absolutely fantastic, and I'm really looking forward to seeing your updates from this tour. It's going to be a lot of fun to keep a track of where you guys are hitting. It's going to almost be like the you should be playing the Indiana Jones theme when you're crossing the map.
Yeah, or the NORAD Santa instead will be the NORAD bounty hunter. I call it the Star Wars Santa. Sometimes when I've been so fortunate to get so many orders of autographs and selling some of the merch, we nickname it Star Wars Santa here.
That's awesome. That's absolutely awesome. Now you got rescheduled for Rhode Island for the June date?
For next year, that's correct. Yes.
Okay, good. Well, we'll definitely be able to see you next year, which would be awesome. Frank and I will absolutely be at the June show, which would be great.
We'll be I have a movie I'm supposed to be filming there called Deceived. I'm starring in a film up in the Boston area, and hopefully we'll be filming before that. So it'd be great to grab a beer with you guys before that there.
Oh, we already said we're going into North End. That's already been established.
Really good Italian there.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, so, big question. Were you a Star Wars fan before your dad was in Star Wars?
Yeah, I'd say I was a little bit of a Star Wars fan. I've watched pretty much all the movies, and whenever one of the Star Wars movies came out, I used to always go watch it with my dad. So yeah. We
got to see that life-size AT-AT and a life-size Millennium Falcon for Solo. We live right up the street from the Hollywood Boulevard there, so that was a lot of fun to share that with my two sons there. That's pretty
impressive. We have actually a member, which we'll try to get him to send you a picture, John Notman. He actually has a AT-AT built into his house, but it's a bunk bed.
Oh my God.
He had a custom made, and he showed us a tour of it the other day. It's pretty awesome, but it's the kind of place when you're down in Orlando, you kind of want to stay.
I love it. I just joined a group on Facebook. I think it's called Star Wars Man Caves, and I love looking through everybody's stuff. Unfortunately, until we move out to Atlanta or Texas, we can't get it here in Los Angeles. But I'm looking forward to having that man cave myself one of these days.
Absolutely, everybody should have one. So what are you drinking in your tiki cup? That's a question we have.
This is a little tribute to Boss there, the late Alan Miller, God bless him. I was supposed to see him at there was a Comic-Con called the Croydon Comic Con right before he passed away in England. But we have Italian sodas. We love that. You get a little bit of the cherry syrup, a little bit of dairy, and then a little bit of ice and some sparkling water. It's amazing.
Fantastic. Well, ladies and gentlemen, well, greetings from Chile. We have people here from Chile and Australia, so we're hitting the globe. This is pretty awesome. We're on here with Dominic Pace, who plays Gecko. If you have questions for him, please, put it into the chat. Dom will also be giving us insights to the scenes that he's in tonight and also the filming of the episode. So Dom, I know you had alluded last time that you were initially brought in for a makeup test. Tell us about what happened after the makeup test that actually got you onto set.
Personality goes a long way. I've been always humble for the last 25 years. You guys are from the Northeast. We were raised with respect. I mean, we were raised to respect our elders, our coaches, our parents, our teachers. If you didn't get what you wanted, too bad. I mean, you had to have respect. So I just hit it off with one of the heads of Legacy Effects Makeup. His name was Brian Syke. And again, I had no idea that this was going to turn into a childhood dream come true, but he was the one who ultimately gave me that phone call. It was a screen test in front of Jon Favreau, in front of Deborah Chow, Dave Filoni. It's about a 2-hour makeup process. He had 25 pictures he had to do for this episode 3 as well as episode 1 throughout the Cantina. He did the most extensive work to Gecko in so many ways, but really it was just a 2-week waiting process. And when I got on set, it's still I did not know what the project was because it was a nickname called Huckleberry, and it wasn't until
That's awesome.
the production title. Now, what was the original Star Wars? Blue Harvest, they called it, right?
It was Blue Harvest, but that's a nice Tombstone reference right there.
Yeah, so either Dave or John are big Tombstone fans there. But it wasn't until I walked into the wardrobe room that I knew it was going to be Star Wars. And like I said, I've been in the business for 20 years. Got a solid handful of credits with guest stars and co-stars. But as a Star Wars fan, I think for anyone, your hands go numb a little bit. And the only thing that broke my heart was just, I think any Star Wars fan will be able to relate that when a production wraps or when you're wrapped for the production, you just go home. That's it. But I think every Star Wars fan will be able to relate that I just want to go around and just hug everybody because it's like you just have so much. You're just so grateful in so many ways and so appreciative to the entire production for an opportunity of a lifetime there. So really grateful to all of them.
Absolutely.
Maybe you just addressed this, but did you say you had no idea what it was going into it?
That's correct. It's called Huckleberry, and it wasn't until I signed an NDA that it said Lucasfilm, and even then I was like, well, Lucasfilm has their hands in other projects, ILM.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I walked into the wardrobe room that I saw some of the artwork on the walls, and then when I went into my into a dressing room, and it had 3 options, and it said Dominic Pace Bounty Hunter, and that's when it all kind of hit all at once. And like I said, I still laugh to this day because there were 2 other actors where you're either a Star Wars fan or a Star Trek fan, and you're not. And for most of us, professionals, you're just there for a day of work. But for me, it was just hard not to just sit there and turn beet red because, again, I mean, you're thinking of the potential of a dream coming true, and it certainly did.
I also loved seeing you in actually one of my favorite episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in the Lighthouse. So that was pretty awesome to go back to that. And I'm like, oh my God, that's Dom. So.
Yeah, we have, again, just a little bit of history of prosthetic work, I think, which helped me get the job as well. I doubled Frankenstein on Van Helsing. I photo doubled opposite Hugh Jackman and Will Kemp. I was also in Bright with Will Smith. I was one of the orcs. It's not a tremendous talent, but it does take a lot of patience, and you can't be claustrophobic with all the makeup. You're in this makeup for about 15, 16 hours. So there's a little bit of talent to getting the job, but ultimately, again, it's a side character, and, because it's Star Wars, that's what's made it so special there.
We have one question from, actually, I remember, John. What's your favorite movie outside of Star Wars?
Oh, wow. Well, that's a great question. I would have to say anything associated with the great Daniel Day-Lewis. It was so heartbreaking to hear that he retired. There's I think you can count on one hand a group of actors. As a matter of fact, I was just showing my son Rebel Without a Cause with James Dean. But there's only so many actors, even most recently Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker, that take you to an entirely otherworldly level. And for me, it's Daniel Day-Lewis. So for me, I can watch him watch paint dry. Even with there was a movie called The Phantom Thread recently, where if any other actor played it, it would be the most boring script you can imagine. And from start to finish, you're just hooked on it. But really, There Will Be Blood, I think, was probably a 3.5 hour film. And every time, even when I flip by on Netflix, it's like Goodfellas. You're just drawn into it for an hour or two before you switch around because he's just so brilliant.
You just got to make sure you stir the sauce as well.
Stir the sauce, don't let it burn.
So you have a great dedication, especially not only to your fan base, but to your character. Could you show our viewers your ink on your arm?
Oh, absolutely, please, yeah. And I just got such a surprise. I don't know if I should be scared or not. There's a gentleman in Chicago who actually got it on his leg. But this is an honor of Ryan Sipe. This is specifically the work of Andy Gill. So many amazing illustrators stepped up. Some I commissioned, some that just wanted to draw Gecko. But just to immortalize, I think any Star Wars fan would be able to understand, to immortalize your own one-of-a-kind character within the universe. It was a no-brainer for me. And a tattoo artist here in Los Angeles by the name of Jamie Six, Jamie Six Tattoo, highly recommended there.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, we're 2 minutes away, so everybody get ready to press play on Chapter 3 of The Mandalorian. And please make sure that you stay back. We will be having a very special giveaway for 10 members tonight. And even if you've won before, you are fully welcome to answer tonight. And I'm very excited about this episode. It's definitely a very fun one.
Yeah, as I'm sure most viewers know, Deborah obviously did such an amazing job. They gave her the reins to Kenobi, the Kenobi series there. So excited to see what she does with that there.
Well, they just did an online panel with Ewan the other day for Ace Comic Con, and they were trying to get him to commit to the fact that Kenobi is actually going to be a musical called Hello There. So that would be pretty awesome.
Oh, that's going to be the Star Wars Holiday Special Part 2.
Yes, absolutely. The second Life Day.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, we're at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, which is 7 o'clock Pacific. So we're going to start with the 10-second countdown for episode Chapter 3 of The Mandalorian, called The Sin, in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hit play.
Oh my God. Wrong one.
So I know you mentioned this before, but for the members that were not part of episode 1, what was it like seeing the actual puppet of the child on set?
Oh, well, that's actually a great question. I was not shown it. The whole entire time it was in the cradled in the arms of Brendan Wayne, the grandson of John Wayne, third of The Mandalorian. And the whole entire time I was excited for the sequel trilogy, because ultimately I thought that it was going to be a continuation or a backstory on either Rey, Poe, or Finn. So being second team, they actually hid it from us. And I thought it was the greatest thing that John and Dave could have done, just because, again, I think what happens is sometimes, with Solo coming out, and with episode 8, unfortunately, there was a lot of negative press. There was a little bit of toxic fandom. And I just like the fact that they were able to keep that secret, specifically because if you heard that it was Baby Yoda and Disney, I think a lot of the fans on Twitter might have acted out. And I think the most beautiful thing with the Star Wars saga, no matter what episode, no matter what movie or animation that they offer, I think it's just really important for every viewer to see it firsthand, just because they put so much work into it in every single way. So they kept it. They did a really good job keeping it secret. They hired all professionals. So, very few leaks. I think you heard about Mandalorian, which I think is a great thing, including now season 2. So I think it was just great for the fans that they were able to keep it under wraps. But at the time that I was filming, we had about 200 people on set. So, they really wanted to keep it as discreet as possible. And how grateful we are that they did, just because, my God, he's kind of become the love of the entire world now. I mean, in T-shirts and dolls and everything else.
Could you, for our fans at home, what is your URL for all your merchandise that you have?
Thank you so much. It's geckothebountyhunter.com, Gekko. And also on Facebook, Lair of the Gecko. I've got all my tour date information. The most updated information is there. And then on Instagram, it's Dominic Pace 1. And then on Twitter, it's Dominic P. Pace. And I've been so grateful for the entire fan base. Again, humbled every single day. I'm excited for my son to experience all the fandom throughout the country. But, you know, again, there's not a day goes by where we completely understand that we'd be nothing, the side characters, bounty hunters, without the support of such an amazing fan base that, like I always said, you know, if you had Han Solo, you had a Walrus Man. If you had Princess Leia, you had a Hammerhead. And in any other franchise, including even, I think I would go as far as to say even Star Trek, I don't think the passion is as intense as the Star Wars fan base. And I've just been grateful every day for everyone's support.
Well, we're glad to have you part of the universe. So thank you very much. And thank you very much again for being here with us.
Of course.
Dom, I have a question, and I don't know if you would know this from your time on the set. Because in these documentaries, they talk a lot about if Mando is fighting hand-to-hand, it's Lateef Crowder. If he's shooting, it's Brendan Wayne. But when he's just walking or if he's flying the ship, do you have a sense of who that is?
That's Brendan.
That's okay.
I would say 95%, yeah. And the same thing happened on the days that we had the standoff on Navarro, which you'll see shortly enough. When it was some of the stunt action scenes, my son and I were just watching, we were playing back. As a matter of fact, I saw a new still shot I just posted. I had not even seen it myself. But when he does that flip into the flatbed that's being pulled by that R5D4, it switches over to the stunt guy. But for the most part, Brendan was there the whole time.
Thank you.
Pedro, I was there for 2 weeks, but I did not see him. I mostly predominantly the voice, but the great thing is with Disney Gallery is it looked like Pedro gave a lot of credit to his two guys there, and rightfully so. I know they've been talking about Golden Globes and everything else. I feel like, you know, with everything evolving and being so progressive in Hollywood, I'd love to see the first actor go up and accept an award with their stunt guy. These guys risk their life. I did a B movie a few years ago, and I had a extensive fight scene, and even just some of the simple choreography, you're risking busting your head open. So, I mean, a little gold statuette, I don't think is going to be asking too much from the Academy in this day and age where these guys are literally risking their life for our entertainment. And they've obviously done such a great job with, you know, the stunt team on Mandalorian there as well.
I absolutely agree with you that the
Look, are you seeing
stuntmen need more.
office right now?
Was that?
Are you seeing Werner Herzog's lair right now? His
Yes, we're seeing the client and Dr. Pershing.
That's the LED screen. That was the first thing I saw when it was when we were getting the screen test. I could not believe that it wasn't real. I mean, even 20 feet away, it just everything looks so crystal clear. It's the most amazing thing you've ever seen.
So that's the volume room, right? They call it.
When you see these windows, those are fake.
Oh wow.
That's the volume. This is the volume.
That's so cool.
It's amazing.
I never noticed the Empire medallion around his neck before. Oh, and there's the Hood ice cream maker.
Yes.
I love it.
I mean, if anything doesn't, if there's one thing that tells you how important and how, I mean, no matter who you are in the universe, even for less than 1 second, you had a Hood there. I mean, it's just, it's incredible.
We were discussing this at our Tuesday event that the running of the next celebration is going to be ridiculous, especially since we now know what those things actually are. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. I mean, even God rest his soul, the Boom guy who just passed away with the pink shorts, you know, I've been to a number of conventions where you see guys cosplaying him, you know.
We saw that in Chicago last year, so that was a good one.
Yeah. Herzog, oh my God, what's the name of that story? That movie that he did down in South America, where I think he pointed a gun at the star of the movie just because he put them through hell in regards to the production. The conditions of production was just completely substandard. But yeah, he's an interesting fellow.
He was one of the surprise casts, for sure. When they announced him, you knew it was going to be something really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. We were just watching the Grizzly Man. He did a documentary on that, and that's another fascinating one there.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah. Not the happiest of endings, unless you're the baby.
But very interesting. Definitely documentary worthy. So yeah, so the village here. I mean, this is all practical, real sets, and that's a green screen in the back. This was the other stage. This was not the LED screen.
This is my favorite.
Literally about 3 or 4 stages max. That was it. And it's just amazing what they can produce with a limited number of stages, but just because of that screen.
So I remember Catherine just said Herzog had a revolver and threatened to kill the actor and then himself, but then he said he didn't even have any bullets, so they called his bluff. So, Dom, I know one of the items that you have on your page is a block of Beskar. One of our members asked about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Beskar and some of the little tracking fobs there. Also,
oh, those are cool.
Yeah, these lighted
pucks.
Yeah, lighted pucks that.
Oh, those are cool.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, that light up there. Yeah, some amazing little props, and then just the detail again. The fact that Legacy Effects had 25 people to put together, but just the detail that Stephen A. Porro, the costume designer, did with me. These gauntlets are really, really thick, and it's my hope that through the Marvel Comics Star Wars Bounty Hunters, hopefully they'll be a little more extensive in terms of some backstory with it. But yeah, I had a friend of mine remake these as well. I'm going to bring these on the tour as well.
That's incredible.
Yeah, pretty thick there. It was definitely uncomfortable being in the outfit for about 15, 16 hours. But again, just as any Star Wars fan would understand, it just was a tremendous adrenaline rush.
How heavy was it?
The gauntlets, I mean, it wasn't that. I actually chose for it to be heavy. A story that I've been telling often is just that I got to pick my own blaster. And I said, if he's ever going to be an action figure, I wanted to pick the biggest blaster. So I got a blaster with a paintball canister on the back of it, almost the size and weight of an AK-47. And that was really kind of a pain to carry around all day. But at the same time, again, I just took a lot of pride, as I think, so many of the members of the 501st, the Mandalorian Mercs, the Rebel Legion do with their costumes. It was the same as an actor in terms of taking pride with every piece of the Gecko costume that I was able to choose. I had to rush to set on the first day, and they forgot my mask. And they said, well, just go without it. And I said, no. I said, masks are just so Star Wars. And for me, it was, I think, the greatest compliment just to the universe, as opposed to be sort of self-serving, to get more screen time, or more face time, so to speak. I really wanted him to have a mask. I think it adds a lot more depth, and hopefully a lot more depth in future episodes in terms as to why Gecko has that there.
Yeah. Good call.
Going back to what you said earlier about how the side characters make the legacy, I mean, I could tell you that growing up, yeah, of course, everybody loves the main three, but I was always, like you said, a Hammerhead fan. I was a fan of Lobot. I was a fan of Bib Fortuna. Those were like my favorite characters outside of the main characters, and those are the ones that I actually had the best memory of, because of even if how limited their time was on screen, they made that much of an impact on the scene.
I could imagine working for George Lucas must have been, so amazing, but also at the same time, probably grueling because of his attention to detail. And I think really what has pulled at our heartstrings in so many ways is just the intricacy when we're young to see those figures and to play with those figures, combined with the music of John Williams that just pulls at us in so many different ways. And I think that combination obviously just goes miles above any other sci-fi production. But yeah, it's really just the attention to detail from the entire Lucasfilm team. And now, we understand now that really bleeds so true with Dave and John. Of course, Dave with his animation there as well, with the detail of all the different worlds and characters. And I think that really is what makes it so three-dimensional and so real in order to tell these really these amazing stories that have touched us in so many ways. Emily Swallow, yeah.
I love seeing these cutscenes to the Siege of Mandalore, especially after watching the last 4 episodes of season 7 of Clone Wars. Just seeing the tie-ins, it's just absolutely amazing to see the live action and the animation become one storyline.
Yeah, not to mention bleeding in some of the droid, the battle. I forget what you call that battle droid from the prequels there as well.
Yep.
Yeah, I think in season 2, I think Dave's really going to open his wings along with John, as far as just the intertwining of even Rebels and Clone Wars even more, and not to mention pulling from all of the 9 episodes as well.
Yeah. Frank, what was the name of that droid, the battle droid? Do you remember?
I just knew him as a super battle droid, but I'm sure there's a number to it.
Yeah.
And we're back into the cantina.
Someone knows.
With all the best armor now.
Yeah, this was all Manhattan Beach Studios, and it was just such a privilege to watch the legendary Carl Weathers work there, and to be able to flank him was just such an honor. I'm not sure of his theater history, but I mean, he just has such a presence. You can hear a pin drop when he, presents himself.
Was the Cantina all
There you are.
a set, or was it the volume 2?
This was all real, and then they clouded the windows there. Some really special experiences, this week of filming that I wish again I could have shared my heart and my eyes with every Star Wars fan. When my back was to the camera, the great thing is when you get into performance, you sort of have tunnel vision, and you sort of create the universe around you. But it's one thing to be in modern crime dramas, which I've done probably close to 100 times on television. It's another thing to be in our beloved universe, and it was really some special feelings there, especially during the standoff where at the time I didn't even know if this could have been Boba Fett. So to have this standoff with one of my favorite action figures as a kid really was quite a special day there. But I just wish I could have brought everyone into my heart, into my mind, just because for a minute the world disappeared, and it was really something else.
Was this the first time you saw The Mandalorian? When you're on
This,
set?
this was week 1. Yeah, and this was Jon Favreau's birthday this day. It's I think when he released the first picture online, and I'm rushing into the cantina, my first play set from when I was a kid, and who's standing at the bar talking about Mandalorians with John is George Lucas himself and Kathleen Kennedy flanking just off the side. It was just too much to take in at one time.
Maybe it's a good idea that you had your hood on.
Say hi, or say, it's just for those not in the industry, you just don't do that. It's just it's a different world when you're working on the set. It's you speak unless you only speak unless you're spoken to. There we go.
But it must have been great with the fact that you probably had a wide grin under your hood when you walked in at that time. I mean, I know I would have been geeking out.
Smile, your excitement.
I was getting a little over anxious because I wanted to be established. That was a moment there when I passed the table where Deborah gave me a little direction. She wanted me to give him a little bit of a dirty look there. And forgive me, the names escape me now, but just for all the women out there, you'll be happy to know the first assistant director and the second assistant director were both female. The first time, honestly, for me on set that I ever saw a female director, first AD and a second AD all together. So Disney's very pro-diversity, and I thought that was a beautiful thing to see. And they ran a very tight ship, too. I would hire them to keep my budget under control any day if I were producing. But, I mean, just the intricacy, you can see legacy effects, and also Stephen A. Porro, the costume designer, just all the detail they give to not only my own character, but everyone else in the cantina there as well. as far as the ship, it was off to the side of that little Navarro street, and all that was there wasn't the entire ship, but it was just the center of it, like the center hub of it, that was real. I've been asked in many interviews, you know, what's the beauty of Star Wars, and really it's those connections of family and you know, relationships that we are able to connect to in real life, and this is I just feel like so many great father-son sort of an homage in many ways between him and the child.
Well, it definitely is a fatherly relationship, and you know, going back to the original, you know, storyline, George always said that this was about family.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, as cool as the ships are, and the lightsabers and blasters, and you know, the costumes, it really would be nothing if there's no substance, and hiring solid actors as well. You know, I mean, the original trio. I don't think I mean, as much as I love Al Pacino, or you know, you see some of the original casting as to who was up for Leia and Han or Luke. You know, as much as there are some legendary actors, it's just you just can't beat that chemistry, and I think that's what ultimately makes it so special as well.
I have a subset of my autograph collection of people that auditioned to be in Star Wars but didn't make it. So I have Cindy Williams from Laverne and Shirley, and
William Cat.
William Cat. Yeah.
Yeah, nice guy. That was one of my favorites too as a kid growing up. Was Greatest American Hero.
Yeah, great show.
And he was the original Pippin on Broadway too, if you're a theater fan.
He's the nicest guy.
He signed "It Was Almost Mine." He was really cool.
Just a bit outside.
I had one about 10 years ago, but I don't kick myself because I go to the gym 20 minutes a day and nothing longer. But I was up for Drogo for Game of Thrones opposite instead of Momoa, and yeah, I mean, you know, I gave a solid performance, but I mean, you know, just even the physical stature. God bless the guy. I mean, he's just a work of art.
We had a question earlier. Other than episodes 1 and 3 of Mandalorian, what other ones would you say are the ones that you like the most?
I really enjoyed the finale. I mean, you know, I was looking over at my kids as we're watching it for the first time, and I thought it was a little excessive punching him, but I just, you know, it just had just this great balance that I think John and Dave, I mean, and their entire director team are just have such a great ability to have that balance of adventure, of comedy, just going back to what film should be about, is just having a great time and escaping. There's a detonator.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed how it ended off, and then also just these great little, you know, cliffhangers to anticipating season 2. I couldn't be more excited as a Star Wars fan and as an actor too.
This reminds me of the old spaghetti westerns where you have a central arc, but each episode can stand on its own as its own storyline. So you can pick it up at any time, and you're not getting lost.
Right. No, that's a great point. And yeah, I mean, obviously, when you see his side piece, and also even the cape, right? I mean, it's kind of a little nod, even with Boba, was to Clint Eastwood, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, and then even the soundtrack as well, which I thought was so bold. You know, I know that Rogue One, they went off a little bit as you know, they didn't have John Williams, and I'm not sure if Solo did or it didn't. I don't think it did.
Solo had one song by Williams.
A different direction with Mandalorian and the soundtrack, but it completely worked.
Yeah, it was an amazing soundtrack.
Yeah.
Totally worked.
That last episode of Gallery, the music was incredible.
Yeah.
John, did you ever get to watch Gallery?
Trilogy too, you know.
Mm-hmm. John, did you ever get to watch Gallery yet?
No.
Well, there's the logo again on Dr. Pershing's sleeve. So hopefully in season 2 we find out a little more about what his involvement was in Camino.
Yeah. So hard. so heartbroken with Rhode Island. I was really looking forward to meeting everybody.
Yeah. Well, we'll definitely get to see you in June.
Yeah.
I believe
And-
it's the same lineup too. So
There was one year there was freezing rain and snow for Rhode Island, so there shouldn't be any of that in June.
No, yeah. Yeah, I'm from New York, so I'm November through March is not fun. God bless. You know, that commute into the city, I don't miss. I'll tell you that. But hopefully we get your Sox back and we get those that Yankee Sox rivalry back and just get back to normal life again. You know.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I saw that video you did on your YouTube channel for when you came to Boston and went to
Yes.
Fenway. It was really cool.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of pop culture, whether it's movies or sports. But I wish every town had that trolley that you guys have, where you can get on and get off at all the historic spots. I think that's the coolest thing ever.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
I have a question for your son. What did you think when your dad showed up in Star Wars?
Yeah, it was pretty cool because I know he's been like a lifelong fan, and yeah, like you said, it was his dream come true. So yeah, it was really cool to see him up on the Star Wars screen.
We had to keep it secret for about a year, and I got a text from a friend in Tennessee when they released a trailer on YouTube, and it was the first time it was that shot that this is such a cool weapon. But it was the first time they had that shot where it panned to me and the two other bounty hunters in the cantina. And I was just home with just my sons. You know, it's me and my sons. And again, I've been on television numerous times with probably every crime drama over the past 15 years. But it was just nothing, you know, that compared to this. So it was really a special moment. We all had like a little group hug together. I'm not a big drinker, but I need a little shot of scotch because, again, I mean, even just that alone, it be immortalized in, you know, our beloved universe there was really special to me there.
Absolutely.
Oh, there we go. I'll tell you, yeah. So here we are at the bar.
And there you are. There's Chris.
Yeah, Chris and I. So we didn't even know each other. Oh wow, great shot. And we didn't even know each other at the time. But oh man, you know, of course, you know, you can't take anything from the set. But man, that was you definitely want to have that little thing as a keepsake.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. It's going down. Yeah, this took about 3 days. You know, my hope is always they do an extended version. You know, there were a couple other shots in there I would have loved to have gotten. It was one, you know, kind of, it had me really, I mean, there's one shot that has me lined up with Mando, but even during the battle, when he's on the flatbed, I was going at him hard. I had some ex-military guy at my knees shooting these blanks, these big, like kind of sandbag, you know, sparkling blanks at the flatbed.
Mm-hmm.
And I recently had an illustrator recreate that angle, but they didn't keep it in the shot. But oh, there we go.
There you are.
Yeah.
Nice close up.
Hey, Dom, you were on my radar because of my owning Star Wars Autograph News, and you were doing a lot for your autograph. And I when I first watched it, I didn't realize you were in this scene.
No,
So
okay.
it's been great over the you know the last few months or whatever it is that you've talked so much about it, and to see you there right now, you can't miss you. But I didn't realize that was your character. I knew you in the cantina, but I didn't pick up that you were here.
Yeah, Deborah cut half of the cantina characters, and thankfully they not only kept me, but they wanted me to flank them there. And it was such an honor to hear his voice. I had a little Peter Griffin giggle though for a second, because when he says, "I'm your only hope," my son and I, we always have that joke, you know, with Peter Griffin, where, you know, if he watches the movie and they make the catchphrase, he's like, "Oh, he said it right there."
They said it. They said it.
He said it. So I was like, the top 10 ways to get thrown off the set of The Mandalorian, you know.
That's awesome.
It was every Star Wars fan's dream. Every minute I was exhausted. I was sweating under that thing, but oh my God, I told the stunt guy, I said, whatever you need me to do. You know, the first time that I ever heard applause was with Return of the Jedi, and I was in a theater in Yonkers, New York, with my mom and my sister, and to watch, to any type of a Star Wars action scene. Sometimes they want you to be careful if you're not hired for the stunt. I've done stunts before. Tate Fletcher and I, we were on John-Claude Van Johnson. We did stunts on 2 different episodes of that. But this, I was not hired particularly for a stunt, but I went up to the stunt coordinator. I said, whatever you need. I didn't want to tip off, how much of a Star Wars fan I was. But, you wanted to give 110% for this. You knew you were part of something special, without question.
Saw those gauntlets. They look pretty big.
They're very thick.
Yeah.
They're very thick. And this Marvel comic, Star Wars Bounty Hunters, we've got a really good feeling about them. It's had a delayed production due to the virus, but hopefully in the 10th or 11th issue, they'll feature it a little bit more so it gets solidified in canon. But Stephen A. Porro just did an amazing job with the costume. And like I said, I was really passionate. I almost didn't get to set to where, God forbid, I wasn't going to be used in the Cantina, but I said, I can't go without that mask, And again, these it's got about 3 little compartments on there, so you can only imagine.
Wow.
I called Brian Sipe, the director, or the head of makeup artist, right after this episode, and I said, we didn't die. We didn't die. Those gauntlets, they saved me. So, we'll see what happens. We'll see a lot of good things to come. I'm confident.
Wait, that's Chris's character from the Space Boston episode?
I think so. I think that's Q9.
Yeah, that's Chris. Yeah, no fire that came out. That was not CGI, and I was right there. Yeah.
Dom, the other nice thing about you having the mask is there's such a rich history within Star Wars that if you have a mask and nobody's seen your face, it doesn't mean you come back for something else.
True. Yeah, I just it's funny that you say that because Brian asked me a question right after this episode, and for me, I honestly wish if in a perfect world if I can give the other opportunity to another Star Wars actor, but for me, I just kind of want to brand Gecko there and to stick with him. And the one great thing, even if this goes a certain direction, and there's other shows that are taking place before this, and the species is now immortalized within the Star Wars universe. So the campaign and the pitch from the agencies and my agent and my manager is just to stay with this character. But there's no question. I mean, Brian's a great guy, and I think there's a really good chance of getting on with other stuff. But I just am really set on Gecko, and as opposed to some other actors, I don't mind owning that brand. I'm not Harrison Ford, where he doesn't want anything to do with anything.
No, but it's really awesome, and the passion that you have for the character is very inspiring, and you have a tremendous fan base from all the work that you've been putting into this character. So, kudos to you on that.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I've been really ambitious with it, and thankfully, I mean, up until now, Disney, I think, has been supportive. I think Dave understands the importance of side characters and everything we've been doing, especially our involvement with a lot of the charities and stuff. Normally, I think, it could be an issue, but ultimately, at least for now, they seem to be pleased. So we're going to keep, we'll keep our ear open, but at the same time, I love putting him in the spotlight, and hopefully, like I said, he'll be up there with Bosk and Dengar one of these days.
Absolutely. So we had a question from a member, Jeff. How was your visit to Scum and Villainy a couple weeks ago?
Oh, it was great. Again, my heart goes out to all the small businesses around the country. I used to, I've had a million survival jobs, everything from Uber to waiting tables to managing restaurants. And I know I was close to a lot of these owners, and to just really sympathize with everyone. Not only, our film industry is shut down. They're still talking. We just got an email from my agent today in regards to the unions trying to come to some kind of safety agreement. But it was not only a great experience, but also anything that I can do right now. Of course, we're all limited on funds, but anything I can do right now to help small businesses, especially the local restaurants, I'm happy to be there for them. So I reached out actually a couple days ago, and after the cancellation of Celebration, I said, if you guys are going to do anything special, let me know. We'll be back in the tour in late August, and I'm happy to show up as a guest if you guys need it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, good people down there. Elliot oh God, I forget his last name. Sorota, I think he's the head bar manager, but a great guy, member of the 501st, so they're really Star Wars friendly down there. God, every frame, every shot is just gorgeous. They got to get on those toys. They got to start making more toys. There she is, Deborah Chow.
Yeah, I was just thinking that I need to get the ship.
We have a friend over at Disney, and we did the whole pitch. The irony is, with the fact that it's my face and my eyes, I don't know. I mean, I'm happy to sign anything over that they want, but I don't know if there's a concern in terms of likeness, and if they have, if they're fear they have to give me an extra percentage. I don't want anything. I just want the figure, as opposed to like a masked stormtrooper or a Trandoshan or whatever. I forget the exact phrasing of that species. But yeah, that's the hope. That's the goal. I mean, again, we were just in a comic book store a few days ago, and some of these guys, even 2 seconds on screen, they get their own figures. So that's the ultimate hope, and that's hopefully going to be the icing on the cake for us there.
Yeah,
absolutely. Well, I think we're about that time right now, as the episode has ended, that we're going to do our special giveaway tonight. As I mentioned before, 10 members of our illustrious group are going to be able to win this. And if you won an item before from us, you're welcome to answer today. It's going to be a question which Dominic did send me earlier. But to show you what it is an autographed comic book of the Sin cover signed by Dominic himself.
That's so cool.
So we have 10 of these that are going to go to 10 lucky members. And it's going to be the first 10 to answer this question correctly. And it's not an easy question. When Dominic sent it to me, I was even like, ooh. So
and I think we'll get it, but it's definitely going to separate the Star Wars fans from just the casual fans.
So just a reminder that this is an autograph raffle. I will be reaching out to you later, either tonight or tomorrow, for your address, and all you have to do is to take care of the shipping, which I will let you guys know the information later on. But the question is, Gecko is a bounty hunter from episodes 1 and 3, and he's become a fan favorite side character in The Mandalorian. Which Cantina creature action figure is the most coveted and expensive figure from episode 4, New Hope? Again, which Cantina creature is the most coveted and expensive figure from episode 4, A New Hope?
Yeah, you definitely got to be a Star Wars fan, and definitely got to be a collector, I think, to get this. But if you are, it could be an easy question.
How specific do you want them to be?
Okay.
Spot on. I mean, I think there's pretty much from episode 4. There's just one that goes for close to $300 to $400.
Well, that character has that character has 2 variations, so you want them to give the variation you're looking for, right?
Yeah. But the most expensive, so it doesn't have a variation. It's just the most expensive one does. It's just the one.
Well, we have a number of winners right now.
I decided to play.
You can play, John. You know the answer?
I hope I do. I submitted it.
Okay, let me look at this.
Yeah, a bunch of people have it. And Dom even said that the Cantina was one of the first sets he had, and this character came with that.
Absolutely, and the answer is Blue Snaggletooth. Blue Snaggletooth. And that was also, if you're a Funko Pop fan, they had a variant, blue and red, that if you were part of the Smuggler's Bounty group, you never knew which one you were going to get when you got the box. Frank, since you are scrolling right now, could you grab the names of the first 10?
We have one that just says Snaggletooth. It doesn't say Blue Snaggletooth.
That's me.
This is Jeopardy stuff. It's gotta be.
I put Snaggletooth at first.
Point.
But yeah, Frank, if you can grab the names for me, I'll message everybody later.
I don't have.
Ashley, you want to give it? Just write them down. Or do you want me to say them
Just
now?
send them over to me. Send them over to me. You can even send it over to me during the episode of Gallery. So that gives you some time to do that. And then we're going to jump on for Gallery. So we'll jump on Gallery in about 5 minutes or so. But as soon as Frank, are you going to text me those, Frank?
Yeah.
Cool. So Frank will send me off the list, and I'll announce the 10. I will contact you separately afterwards, but I'll announce the 10 on this screen of the winners tonight. But yeah, thank you very much for this incredible autograph. This is absolutely fantastic artwork. Who is the artist on this?
Oh man, it's kind of interesting. He did actually every cover of each episode. He's from Russia, but he does not want to be named. I told him, I said, hey, I give you a shout out, and he doesn't want his real name to be mentioned. He does have a page on Instagram, but it's one of those where it's got just a bunch of letters and numbers there. I'll try to get it over to you there. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Well, good stuff. Spencer, we're going to bounce. We're going to grab some dinner, but thank you so much for having us there. I appreciate you, and all my love to everybody. And hopefully I can see everybody on the tour, or at least if I'm coming to their town.
Dominic, it's absolutely a pleasure, and thank you for being a fan. Thank you for being part of our community, and most importantly, thank you for being a member of our group and joining us for 2 of the episodes. It's been an absolute treat.
Anytime, guys. Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
You too, Dom. Thank you.
Take care.
Okay.